Sometimes I forget that I'm just a human on this earth, and there's so many things around me that I actually cannot see. And of those things include supernatural beings and supernatural happenings that are completely out of my control. We like to think that we are in control, but we're actually not in control. We don't see most of the stuff that's happening roundabout. Like, I don't even know. There could be some interaction going on over here between spirits that's affecting me and making me say certain things that I don't know about. And I wanted to share 4 stories about how God has brought some supernatural beings into my life, some angels into my life to save me, to protect me when either I have made the wrong decision or I just needed protection, I just needed some help. And God sent these angels to me to deliver me in that time. And I'm just so grateful, and these stories are they were so impactful in my life. These times were very eye-opening for me in the moment. And some of these times I could literally feel like, wow, this person who just helped me was actually an angel. God sent the spirit of an angel into this person's body to help me specifically in this moment. So let's get into story number 1. Now, this story was in late summer, August 2021. I was returning to campus from summer break. It is my senior year, and I am living life. I have my own apartment now. I get to live off campus. I had these fake friends, and we had drama in the summer, and I was trying to basically make amends. And so we decided to go out that night. And so around this time, I actually was a Christian, brand new, just brand new Christian. And don't even ask me why I was going to the club. I honestly didn't feel good about it, but it was what I've known. You know, I was in college and doing the things that college girls do. We go to the club, or we went to the club. So that night we went to the club, and there was this moment where in the club there were all these lights shining bright and about and strobing, you know, the type of stuff that they warn you about if you have seizures. And so there was a moment where the light was flashing. You could hardly see people's faces besides when the light is like directly on them. And in one of those millisecond moments, someone's face who I was with, their face completely transformed to something that was out of a horror film. It was scary. Okay, yes, I was drunk and probably high as well, but it wasn't like I was loopy. I was probably cross, drunk, and high from a pregame, and I was at the club, so I'm already going down. Like, I'm not up here anymore. I'm almost sober. And that person's face changed, and I looked at it, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, oh, I gotta get out of here now. So I ordered my Lyft. Now, it was already super early in the morning, and so the club was about to end anyways. The club was about to close. I didn't really think about that, but I had ordered my Lyft, and I'm just waiting. There was absolutely no Lyfts. I guess people were already starting to leave. And so I'm just waiting, and I see that mine is getting closer. Like, I finally have a driver, or I'm thinking that even though there's no driver yet, if I go outside, there will be a driver soon. I wasn't thinking straight, okay? And so I just left because I was like, you know what, girls, like I ordered my Lyft, I'm going. After I seen what I had to see, and I just wasn't having fun. My spirit was down, and the people I was around weren't for me, and it was just all showing itself. Okay, and so I went outside, and I'm thinking that it's here or something. I don't even remember the exact details, but all of a sudden I think the club closed. It was closed, and so people started coming outside, and all these cars start coming, and everyone's leaving. Like, people are leaving the club, I'm still standing there outside. People are leaving the club, I'm still standing there outside, and the Lyft still was not arriving. It was like 20, 30, 40 minutes later, and the Lyft still had not arrived. Now it's 3, 4 in the morning at this point, and so I start to spot men around me, because you know I got that eye. I'm from New York City, and every time something feels off, I get that sixth sense, that spidey sense. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like, so I start seeing these men, and they are kind of scattered, like a little group over here, group over here. I'm seeing trucks. And I was in DC, and DC kind of had a trafficking thing we would hear about in the group chats and stuff, that people were trying to pick up women to traffic. And I sensed myself in danger. I sensed the danger. These men were looking at me, speaking with each other, whispering with each other, almost seemed like they were inching in towards me very slowly. And obviously I'm an easy target. I'm a young woman out here by myself, clearly enamored. I am not, is enamored? I don't know. Clearly hammered. And I was not in the right mind. I couldn't run. I had on heels. My feet were hurting. So I knew, like, dang, if they was trying to get me, that definitely would have been the night. And the thing is, I knew God was with me, but I was still scared. I was like, God, like, I get it. Like, I just felt like God was trying to teach me a lesson. And so then I see this woman go and get into her car, and she's kind of just sitting in her car. And it took so much courage for me to go and ask that woman for help, because that's something I normally would never do. I would walk home before I asked that woman for help, but I really felt for my life. Like, I felt like my life was actually in danger with the way that these men were acting. And so I knocked on her car. She was probably like, this girl is trying to hurt me, trying to scam me or whatever. But I spoke to her, approached her nervously. I was telling her, like, I have ordered a Lyft. It's almost 45 minutes. It's not here yet. Can I please pay you the fare that I was gonna pay and you take me home, because it's super late and I don't feel safe right now. And I was telling her, like, girl, I don't feel safe. There's these men around. I just don't feel safe. So she said no. She said no. Like, she was not really with it. Like, I guess I was not looking trustworthy. And honestly, she worked at the club too. So maybe she had run-ins like this before. I have no idea. And I was just like, shoot, I'm about to die. Like, I was like, yo, I'm about to get kidnapped. About to, so I'm really thinking, like, how am I about to escape? How am I gonna get myself out of this? I'm still waiting for a Lyft. I'm just hoping, right? At this point, I'm just hoping that the Lyft comes. That's what I'm hoping. And so I'm waiting, and nothing. I don't know if I asked her again or if she actually called me to her car. Or maybe I asked her again, because I ended up in that car. God sent me an angel right there. That girl right there, she was an angel. She was an angel who saved me from trafficking that night. I'm convinced, even though you don't know for sure these things, That's what it looked like and felt like. And so I think she waited actually after I asked her initially, just to scope the scenery, just to see if I was in danger, just to see if I was actually a genuine person and not trying to hurt her. And I was standing there maybe 10 minutes before like I actually got in the car with her, and we talked, and you know, we had some girl talk, we just chatted it up, told her where I lived, she took me home. I was so grateful, so grateful. So that right there was a very scary experience where God sent me an angel to help me, because she wasn't about to take me at first, but I think God sent a spirit into that woman and was like, okay, that spirit was like, let me get you home, sis, because you're about to die. It's not even funny, it's scary. If you're at the club, go, first of all, don't go with friends. I mean, don't go at all, but go with friends that are going to, I'm not gonna say don't go at all. Live your life, have fun in a godly way. But have friends that are going to look out for you, that are going to say, maybe, where is this girl? I have her location, why is she still there? Or say like, did you get home yet? Okay, we left, did you get home? You know, these things, because that's important. If you're gonna be out and not in your right mind, and in the nighttime when things start to go crazy. Okay, so that is the first time God sent me an angel. Now the rest of the times aren't going to be as scary as that first time, and I'm gonna go in chronological order. So let's go to the second time. The second time was a really fun feeling one. Like, the feeling of being saved, I wouldn't describe as fun, but it's sort of fun because it's such a relief. Like, you could be like, like, I'm good. And so the second time, again, your girl was a party girl. I was in Miami for spring break. Now it's time to go home. So I'm in the airport, and either, see, I don't remember exact details like that, but either, because that was a wild time, but either I missed my flight or my flight was full even though I had a seat. And I feel like just from my energy just now, that was what happened. Even though I had a seat, I feel like my flight was full and they didn't let me on. And it's like, how are you overbooking? That was the first time I ever even knew that could happen. Like, you could overbook a flight. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I just missed my flight. Like, how, like, I can't get on my flight. How am I about to go home, right? And my flight was separate from my friends. So it's like, dude, if I'm left here, my friends aren't even here, but they actually ended up staying another day. But I had to go home, Boski. I had to go. And so basically, your girl went to like the help desk to ask. This is where the angel was, right? So I'm asking the lady, I'm like, you know, telling her the problem. I need a new flight. Is there any way you could transfer me? Like, I just, you know, I was willing to pay more. I didn't want to though, because I feel like it wasn't my fault. And she started speaking to me like, okay, so your new seat is on this flight. She's like, okay, your new seat on this flight will be leaving at 6 something, right? And I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? My new seat on this, like, that's like, do you understand what I'm like looking at her like, girl, do you know what I'm saying? Are you saying? She's like, your new seat on this flight is leaving at 6. And I'm like, oh, I get it. It was one of those things. that you see in the movies. Like, that happened. It's one of those things you see in the movies where they, like, someone's helping you, and there's like a little, like, inside thing going on where you can't say it out loud. I don't even, like, that's exactly what happened. And so she was like, your new seat, and she's like sliding me a boarding pass for a new flight that's about to leave. I got a good seat. I'm about to leave. I got a seat. And I'm like, this isn't, I think that was the first time in my life where I felt like that was an angel. The other lady who helped me get home safely, that was an angel. I know that. But she said no to me first. So I was like, but she still helped me in the end. But I didn't feel like, oh my God, in the moment, this is an angel. In this moment, I felt that at the airport. Because I was like, there's people out here this good. There's people out here who just give you a free flight and just have you helped and like risk their job and really just help you like this. I was like, oh my gosh, this woman is a literal angel. God is helping. Like, she just slipped me a boarding pass. I don't know. And I think about that because I'm like, wow, that moment touched my heart forever. It changed me. Yeah, that moment completely changed me, and it felt so good to be saved in that moment, bro. It felt so good. I was like, God, I walked away from that counter. I was trying so hard not to overly thank her to make things obvious, because she got her coworker sitting there and she's helping me doing something she's obviously not supposed to do. Shout out to you, lady. I hope you are out there thriving. I hope you are running the airport right now. I hope you are the boss, the pilot. I hope you are just doing something amazing right now, because if you remember helping me, that woman saved my life. Okay, girls helping girls, and she was beautiful. So it was just like, this is an angel helping me right now in this state of Florida, the city of Miami, this crazy place. So yeah, and then, you know, so I just waited for my flight, and I find out my friends are staying another day anyway. So I was like, oh, it would have been good either way. God would have had me. Yo, so God will have you. God will protect you all the time. God will send his protection for you if, you know, you gotta be tight though. You gotta be tight. And God wants that relationship with you. God does want a relationship with you. So if you are seeking to strengthen your relationship with God, check out my devotional. I will leave the link in the description. So check that out so you can awaken your light within. That's the name of the devotional. And all awakening your light means is just allowing God's light to shine in you, through you. Allow God's light to make you new and just illuminate you. So let's move on to story 3. This one's a little mild, but it's also important. So I was working at the farmer's market one day, and I'm new. I get it, I'm new, but my mind is quick with the maths, okay? Because at the farmer's market that I worked at, the stand that I worked at, it was basically all mental math. Like, okay, you got these 2 eggplants, that's gonna be 2 for $6. You got this onion, that's $3.50, so $9.50. You picking up that ear corn, that's $1, $10. You want these beets, they're $5, that's $15. This and you just adding, like, as someone has all of their produce in front of you, you have to mentally math all of that. Add it all up. And so they're showing me, I had customers come to me ready to check out, ready to buy their produce. And I worked with this woman, and she was kind of training me, helping me, but really keeping an eye on me. In the first couple weeks when I was doing it, she was really keeping an eye on me, and I didn't like her attitude. I ended up loving her, love her. She's really cool and amazing. But at first, I think I had to win her trust, and I understand when people have their guard up like that. I totally respect that. But at the time, I was just like, but anyways. So I had these customers, and they're ready to check out. They're showing me everything that they got. Everything. So I'm adding it up. They're like, I'm like, yep, okay. That's this, that's that, keep going, I see it, you got it. And I guess the lady that I worked with was also watching and adding in her head. But maybe she didn't see everything that I saw. So I told them the final price, right? And she was like, actually, no, it's gonna be boom, boom. And I was like, no, it's not. And she's trying to say it's less than the thing because she left out some item that they had that she didn't see. And I was like, no, actually it's not. Did you see this? And she was like, or maybe, I don't remember. Again, guys, with the stories, I'm not, I'm gonna confabulate a little bit. And if you don't know what confabulate means, go Google that. But let's continue. So right, she's trying to correct me, and I'm scared. I'm a little scared because this is my first or second week there, however many weeks I've been working there, I don't know. And so I'm new, and I'm like, oh, I really don't want to make a mistake. And the couple was like, actually, no, she's right because we have this. And then the woman in the couple, shout out to the woman helping woman. That's the theme in this video though, because every angel that helped me was a woman. But the man there, I loved him too. He was very supportive, and they're a unit. Therefore, he's cool. And so the woman was like, yeah, no, actually, she got us. Like, you don't worry about it, sweetie. Stay over there. She got us. And I'm the she, right? I was like, wow. Recognition and support and defending. I love it. And also, I felt a tinge of racism from the woman. I don't believe she's racist. It could have just been me mentally, just because, like, honestly, sometimes black people have that insecurity, right? I'm working at the farmer's market. If this woman thinks that I'm telling them a higher price than it actually is so I could pocket some money, then I'd be stealing. And it's like the black girl is stealing. Which is not, it's funny, but it's just unfortunate that programming has been passed down, and I'm really gotta get rid of that. But my grandkids, they'll be good. Right, it's just good to know it's there in my mind, and sometimes can influence me. But yeah, the lady was like, actually, she got us. She's good. Like, she's good, boo. She know how to add, and I'm the she, and yes, I do know how to add. So that woman was an angel who saved me in that moment, who just made me feel good, because she could have, and it was really her personality that was really like, oh, I'm standing up for my sis right here, because she ain't do nothing wrong. I ain't do nothing wrong. I just added it perfectly, and I'm smart and brilliant, baby. So you don't have to worry about me adding things wrong. There's probably a couple times I did that, and I realized directly after, oop, that person just got a deal for me. So that was story number 3. That one wasn't really like a drastic saving. But here's story number 4. And this was pretty recently. So I did a thing a couple months ago where I moved to a country for a month that was near South America. Best month ever, okay? So I landed in this beautiful island, and I get to my Airbnb. I'm asking the guy what's around here to eat. Mind you, I don't have no car, so I'm having to do everything by foot or by the crazy bus system that existed there, which I didn't know anything about yet. And I don't speak the language fully, so we're in a bit of a pickle. And he is saying, oh, there, if you walk like this, there's a little tienda, like a little store, a little mart, that it was a mart. It was an Asian market, like mart type of thing. And they may have vegetables and stuff that I could eat. And I was like, all right. So I walked there, and I walked in that mart, and I was like, there's nothing, like I could work with this, but it's gonna be a can of black beans that I'm working with. A can of black beans and an onion. And so I'm like, okay, I actually need something different. So I'm walking, and I am walking, and next to me drives this car, and they're playing this R&B song that I know. I'm about to play it real quick. This is
Make your move right here, baby. You gotta get with it to get lost.
Alright, so I'm walking right in this island, and I hear this song playing from the car that's passing by me. The windows are rolled up, by the way. Alright, anyway, so I hear that, and I'm like, American music? What is that? And so I look, and in the car, 4 young women about my age. One has a bonnet and shades on. I'm like, oh, the girls are hip. The girls are fly. And, well, the girls are understanding. They might understand me. Right? I'm like, they're listening to music that's English. Whoa. Should I ask them for help? I had to get the courage to ask them for help. So I went, knocked on the door, said, hello. Do you speak English? Yes, they spoke English. Told them my story. I just landed. I ain't got no food. Y'all know where to get some food, girls? And they was like talking in their language real quick. And then one of them was like, if you want, you can get in and we can take you. And I was like, oh my gosh, no bean and onion for me tonight. So yes, those were some beautiful angels on that island that saved me that day. And the way the car pulled up next to me was so, like, when I tell you there was no cars there, and I had seen plenty of cars going to that market after I had spent some time in the area, but that first day there was no cars passing by. And so when I seen that car and heard that music and seen those girls in there, and one of the girls happened to be getting her hair done very close by, and that's why they were there. And I was like, wow, God really sent me these angels to help me get fed tonight. So hopefully from all of these stories, you might be able to go into your life, into your diary of your book of events that have occurred, and see where God has sent you angels, and maybe you'll feel a little more protected, and just know that God is with you all the time, and that you are surrounded by angels who are ready to pop into any human's body at any moment to help you out, to save you. And I get so inspired by people's stories, like friends of mine, like one of my friends, good friends from my youth, she told me about a time, this was thank God I've never been in a dangerous situation where it's like guns, but she told me how there were guns and she like ran, but the bullets, the only way that those bullets did not go in like her direction, the people that she was with, was an angel, because those bullets somehow went a completely different direction. And to me, that's like, wow, God really be sending angels to help us. And I just thank God for that. I know there's unfortunate situations that happen out there where there's demons and evil spirits present. And we got to remember that we do not fight against flesh and blood, but against the powers and principalities and all the spiritual wickedness in high places. That's who we are fighting. Okay, so hopefully you can see more angels in your life. And I hope you enjoy. Bye.